Hello bearded bee people, welcome back to B&K Bees. Today I am pulling nukes. I have some queens ready and I don't think that I'll be able to sell them over the next couple days, so I figured I might as well pull a couple nukes because we still have some nukes to make up for customers, and so that's what I'm going to do here. This colony has a lot going out on the front, meaning it's probably orientation flight time, meaning they're having a whole lot of bees hatch, and these bees are graduating to forager duty, so probably they're in a position where I can take a frame or two. Hopefully more than that. It'd be cool if I could pull 3, but we will see. And it doesn't look bad by any means, but it's not overflowing either. Okay, pulling out the first frame, honey, and I will just give it a quick glance. Don't see a queen, so I'm going to set it aside. In this case, I absolutely have to find a queen or I cannot pull any frames, because I am going to give the frames that I pull a queen, and I don't want to waste one. So what I pull and put into the nuke has to be queenless. Looks like these guys are honey bound. See the single brood chamber, and we've got honey there, and so that means I wasn't in this often enough, so it's probably good that I'm getting in here to pull frames today. Okay, so we've got a little bit of brood surrounded by bee bread. Okay, so this one is full of eggs and young larvae and open cells. So this is a likely candidate of a frame for me to find the queen. Although I don't see her there. This is a beautiful solid frame. The open cells on the side facing you are full of larvae. This would be a good grafting frame. These black plastic frames are just great for seeing young larvae, and there are a lot of them on that one. There she is, right there in front of my finger. Cool. So I will set her back where she was. I'm going to pull this, bring you guys with. Okay, now I should probably try to grab a frame with some food on it, because those are pretty solid brood frames. If you're wondering why I'm taking this colony down so thin, it's because that's what that colony is there for. That's what their job is to build me brood frames so that I can put them into nucs. And so now I'll treat the remainder of the bees like a nuc. You know, the bees that I leave there. Checker in frames and maybe feed them and all the stuff you'd do if you were purchasing a nuc. And then in another month or so, they'll be back to filling that box out, and I will probably, you know, give them another box, give them a honey box, let them put on some weight before winter. But today being June 10th, I feel 100% comfortable spreading these bees this thin. I'm going to center them up in the box, checker in one frame. They will build up quickly because this frame is absolutely jam-packed full of capped brood. This frame, which is the one that had the queen on it a little bit ago, and she still is there in the bottom, is full of eggs and larvae on that side, but full of capped brood on this side. See, this is the second time this colony has given me 3 frames of brood. They did so on 5/15 and then again on 6/11. So, like I said, in a month or so they'll be ready for another box. I probably won't be pulling any, hopefully won't be pulling any frames for nucs then. Alright, so as is usually the case in the dead of summer and my amateur equipment, the phone overheated and I don't know where it cut out. So I found the queen in the top box. I made sure, or no, I found her in the bottom box. I set her, you know, off to the side, filled that back out with frames of brood from the top box, and took everything else so far, except for what you see, that one frame, to that second nuc there. Now both of these nucs have 3 solid looking brood frames and 1 food frame. They will get a queen either tomorrow or in a couple of hours when, you know, they've realized that they're queenless and the foragers have gone to the old location. And so now I'm going to set this hive back up as a single brood box colony with a honey box. Brand new frames out of the sun and it's melting wax. Okay, so now they have a honey box and a brood box just jam-packed with brood. I'll have to watch out for swarms for the next month or so, but after that Probably have to pull another frame or two, but after that, the swarm season should be wrapping up. Okay, now what else do I have here? A brood and food frame that I think I know a home for. Okay, so that's the process of building nukes. Obviously, the part of the process that I didn't really talk about in this video was the making of the queens. But I mean, to be honest, if you're looking to sell nukes, you don't necessarily have to be a queen breeder. If you're okay continually adding brood, you could just set them there and let them build their own queen. Of course, by that time, the majority of the brood that's in those hives would have hatched out and may have already been backfilled with nectar. So that's why I said continually adding brood, because at some point over the next 2 weeks, if you were going to allow them to build their own queen, you'd want to remove nectar and add brood. Because otherwise, when the queen was finally ready to start laying, she wouldn't have a place to lay. And when you were ready to call it ready for sale, you would have very little brood and a whole lot of nectar and honey. So that's the problem with doing walkaway splits for nuke production. But of course you could do a walkaway split with a whole box and then split that box up into nukes once they have capped cells. That works a little bit better if you're not trying to graft or rear queens in any other way. So I'm going to shake these bees out of this box, because otherwise I'm bringing it back to the shed and I don't want them to get locked in there. Why the hell did you go down there? So I plan on doing a video about how to make money from bees. I know I made a video talking about making money from bees and making nukes a few years ago. But there's so many different options that I figured I might as well make a video and covering those and see if you guys liked that. But this is definitely one of the main money makers in bees, is selling splits, selling nukes. So bring this box over there. So, like I said, these two queens are going to go in the nukes I just set out, either late tonight or tomorrow. And then when those get out and get ready and start laying the rest of the cells up, I'll go through them finally one more time, making sure everything looks good. They're not building any cells. They're working on the one blank frame in there. And when all those things are checked off, then I'll write ready on it and I'll start calling customers, and they'll come out and pick them up. So that is the process, at least according to me. So thanks for watching. If you liked it, click like. If you haven't already, click subscribe. You'll get notified for other videos as we go forward throughout the year. Get out there and have some fun with your bees. See ya.